Hi, welcome back. We've been looking at solving radical inequalities, and we're going to look at a couple more examples of these radical inequalities. Our first example used just a simple square root, but now we're going to look at a higher index like this one where we have the cube root of 3x plus 2 minus 6 is less than or equal to negative 4. Our first step is going to be to find the domain. You may want to go back to the domain video, but just as a refresher, if we have an even degree, we can't put a negative, or radicand has to be positive or equal to 0. If we have an odd index, we can put anything we want in here. So in this case, n is equal to 3, so there are no domain restrictions. Because n is odd, there's no domain restrictions, so I don't need to consider that right now. My next step is to turn this into an equation. The cube root of 3x plus 2 minus 6 is equal to negative 4. And then I need to solve algebraically. I solve algebraically by isolating, raising it to the correct exponent, and then solving. So I'm going to step through this now. Cube root of 3x plus 2 is equal to 2. I've isolated. Now I'm going to cube each side to undo the cube root, leaving me with 3x plus 2 is equal to 8. If I continue solving this, 3x is equal to 6. X is equal to 2. This is going to become my critical value, and I'm going to include it on my number line. My critical value is associated with this inequality symbol, so that's going to be a closed shaded circle. So I'm going to put a closed shaded circle there. What this means is that if I plug 2 in here, the left-hand quantity is equal to the right-hand quantity, so I know for sure that's going to be a solution. Now, I need to use my factor line analysis. So in my factor line analysis, I put my domain and my critical values on, and then I check points. You want to be nice to yourself when checking. So I'm going to check using negative 1/3 and positive 4. All right, so checking. If x is equal to negative 1/3, what do I get? Do I get a true statement or a false statement? The cube root of 3 times negative 1/3 plus 2 minus 6 is less than or equal to negative 4. The cube root of negative 1 plus 2 minus 6 negative 5 is less than or equal to negative 4. This is a true statement. So over here I get a true statement. I'm going to shade the left-hand side. Now I need to check a value on the right-hand side, and I'm checking x is equal to 4. So I have the cube root of, I'm going to step through this a little bit faster. 3 times 4 is 12, plus 2 is 14, minus 6 is less than or equal to negative 4. Cube root of 14. I'm not great at the cube root of 14. In fact, I'm terrible at it. I don't know what it is. I'm not a calculator. I do know that the cube root of 8 is 2, and the cube root of 27 is 3. So the cube root of 14 is 2 point something. 2 point, I don't know. 2 point something minus 6 is less than or equal to negative 4. Well, so if this was 2.5, this would make this negative 3.5. So this is going to be negative 3 point something is less than or equal to negative 4. That is not true. So that is not my solution. So the solution to this problem is negative infinity to positive 2 included.